Hello everybody and welcome to my new video. Today I want to show you how to crochet the super cute dinosaur triceratops plushie. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them in the comments, and I hope you like the pattern, so let's start to crochet it. To crochet the triceratops we need some wool. I've got this chenille yarn here. It's 100 gram on 120 meters and 100% micro polyester. So you can use every chenille yarn you like to. You can also use cotton yarn, but then your dino gets very small. I'm using a 5mm crochet hook, a scissors, a yarn needle and some stitch markers. We're starting our dino with chain 2 or a magic ring. I prefer the chain 2, but you can also make a magic ring. There's no difference. So 1 chain and 2, and make sure that your first chain is very tight. And now we're going to make 5 single crochet into the first chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to make 1 increase in every stitch. So 1 increase is 2 single crochet into the same stitch. You can count back if you're not sure where your first stitch is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this is the first stitch, and make 2 single crochets in every stitch. So you have 10 stitches at the end of your row. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now I'm using a stitch marker, and my stitch marker is this thread. So now we're going to make 1 single crochet, 1 increase for 5 times. So 1 single crochet, and this one is an increase, so 2 stitches inside this stitch, and again 1 single crochet, 1 increase. Repeat this until the end of the row. The next row are only single crochet. So row 5, we're going to start with 1 single crochet and 1 increase for 3 times. But in the second increase, we're going to insert a stitch marker. So 1 single crochet, 1 increase, and again 1 single crochet, 1 increase, and this is our second increase. So I'm going to take a stitch marker inside it, and with a stitch marker it's easier to insert the eyes and the horns. And again 1 single crochet, 1 increase. And for the rest of the row we're going to make 2 single crochets, 1 increase. So 1, 2, and an increase, and again 1, 2, and an increase, and again 1, 2, and the last increase. Row 6 are 2 single crochets and 1 increase for 3 times, and the last 12 stitches are only single crochets. So 1, 2, and an increase, and again 1, 2, and an increase, and a 1, 2 increase, and single crochets until the end of the row. So the next 2 rows, row 7 and 8, are only single crochets. Make 1 single crochet into every stitch. In row 9, we're going to make 1 single crochet and 1 decrease for 8 times. So 1 single crochet, and for the decrease I'm going into the front loops of the stitches, pull the yarn through and pull the yarn through both, and again 1 single crochet, 1 decrease. Repeat this until the end of the row. Okay, and this is the time where we're going to place the eyes. So here's our stitch marker, and we're going to place them between the 5th and 6th rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is our 5th row, and I'm going to place them next, left and right, next to the stitch marker. From the stitch marker we're going 2 single crochets on the right and on the left side, and insert your eye between these 2 rows right here. Fix them. Row 10 is 1 single crochet, 1 decrease for 3 times, and 7 single crochets. So 1 single crochet and 1 decrease, and again 1 single crochet and 1 decrease, the last one, and only single crochets for the end of the row. In row 11 we're going to make increases again to get the body of our dino. Row 11 we're going to make a 1 single crochet and 1 increase for 4 times. So 1, and increase 2, single crochet, increase 3, and single crochet and increase 4, and the last 5 stitches are only single crochets. And 5. Row 12 are 2 single crochets and 1 increase for 5 times, and 2 single crochets at the end of the row. So 1, 2, and an increase, and the last 2 stitches are single crochets. Row 13 till 16 are only single crochets. 4 rows are only single crochets. So these are row 13 till 16, 13, 14, 15, and 16. And for row 17 we're going to make 2 single crochets and 1 decrease for 5 times, and at least 2 single crochets. So 1, 2, and a decrease, and repeat this pattern for 5 times. And these 2 stitches are only single crochets. Row 18 are only 1 single crochet and 1 decrease for 5 times and 2 single crochets. So 1 and a decrease, and again for 5 times until you have only 2 stitches left and they are only single crochets. And here are the 2 single crochets. And don't forget to stiff your triceratops. Row 19 till 22, so 19, 20, 21 and 22, 4 rows are only single crochets. 1 single crochet in every stitch. For row 23 we're going to make 2 single crochets and 1 decrease for 3 times. So 1, 2 and a decrease. And again. Row 24 are only single crochets. And row 25, the last row with the last decreases, and now I'm going to stiff the dino. And row 25, the last row, is 1 single crochet and 1 decrease for 3 times. One single crochet, 1 decrease, 1 single crochet, and the last decrease. I'm making a slip stitch into the next stitch, chain 1, cut the yarn and pull it through. You can take a wool needle or your crochet hook and get always into the front loop and pull the yarn through to close your body. So let's start the horns of the dragon, and I'm going into these stitches next to the stitch marker, and it has to be symmetrical to the eyes, of course. So now I'm inserting my hook and pull the yarn through and make a slip stitch. And I'm going into the same stitch again, pull the yarn through and make a single crochet like this. Slip stitch, and this was the first horn. cutting the yarn, pull the yarn through, and that's it. For the two horns, I'm going next to the eyes like this. We also want it symmetrical. Get the yarn through the stitch, one slip stitch, again into the same stitch, pull the yarn through, make a single crochet. And now we're going to make a double crochet, yarn over, into the same stitch again, pull it through. Now we have 3 loops on the hook, yarn through the first 2 loops and yarn through the last 2 loops, and again a slip stitch, cut the yarn and pull it through. And number two is the same like number 1, of course. Get the yarn through the stitch, make a slip stitch, again into the same stitch, make a single crochet, and yarn over for a double crochet into the same stitch and a double crochet, slip stitch, cut the yarn and pull it through. So now I'm showing you how to weave in the ends. I'm always starting with the one at the beginning. Just going into the stitch and pull it through our plushie. Cut the yarn and hide the ends. So now for the other end, I'm weaving the ends through the horn for a nice texture. Only one time for this one, and now I'm going into the stitch, just into the dino, and hide the end. And the same for these two. I'll show you with one horn. Hide this end inside the dino like this. And again, I'm weaving it through the horn 2 times. And 1 time down here. For a nice texture. And hide it inside your plushie. And of course again for this one. Now the horns are ready and we're going to make the wreath around the head. And we are making it in row 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is row 8. And here are 2 stitches in the middle. This and this one. And this is always the 7th, because we're going to make 14 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is our 7th stitch, and I'm going into it, but it's like between row 7 and 8 If we're going into the complete stitch, it's between row 8 and 9. But I think it's more beautiful if you're going between row 7 and 8. Now get the color of the body and make a slip stitch. And again into the same stitch, 1 single crochet. And follow the line for 14 stitches. 2, 3, 2, turn your work, and now it's always the same pattern of double crochet, half double crochet, single crochet, and again half double crochet, double crochet for this wavy pattern. So we're starting into this stitch, last one, not this one. It's very important that you're going into the stitch of the 2 chains. So make a double crochet. The next one is a half double crochet and single crochet, and half double crochet, double crochet, half double crochet, single crochet, half double crochet, double crochet, half double crochet, single crochet, half double crochet, and 2 stitches are left, and these are double crochet. Like here, this is the double crochet and the chain 2, so our first double crochet, so we're ending with 2 double crochet. Making a slip stitch, cut the yarn, pull it through, and also weave in the ends. Now get your second color. Insert your hook at the beginning of your wreath, pull the yarn through, make a slip stitch, and again into the same stitch a 1 single crochet. Now I'm going to make single crochets all over the wreath. If we are at the corner, I'm going to make 3 single crochets into the same stitch. And make a slip stitch at the end. Chain 1, cut the yarn, and pull it through. And we can remove the stitch marker. Now we are starting the legs. Chain 2, and now 5 single crochets into the first stitch, the first chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now 5 increases, so 1 increase in every stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So now I need my thread, a stitch marker. We're starting row 3 with a single crochet, but just with the loop, and take the second color for the bubble stitch. Finish this single crochet with the second color, and now we're going to make the bubble. So yarn over and go into the next stitch, pull it through and pull the yarn through the first 2 loops, and we're going to do this for 5 of these double crochets. So this was the first one, second, third, fourth, and number 5. So now we have 6 loops on the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're all in the same stitch. And now I'm gonna take the first color and pull it through all 6 loops. Now you have to find the next stitch. It's here. Sometimes it's a little bit inside the bubble stitch. It's important that you find it and not get over it. So here again, 1 single crochet, but only the first loop, and end it with the second color, like this. And here again, we're going to make the bubble stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can also make only 4 of these double crochets. That doesn't matter. So if you make 4, you only have 5 loops on the hook. That's okay too. Now we're gonna pull the other color through our loops like this. Find our next stitch right here and change the color again, so that we have at least 3 of these bubbles. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Change the color, and now we have 4 stitches left. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're gonna end them with just single crochets and only with our first color. You can also make a knot for this color, but you can also weave it in, just like crochet it into your work like this. And 4. Now I'm gonna cut the white yarn. I don't need it anymore. And we can just leave it inside our work. This one, get out, and we can change the side. Just plop them into the other side, on the right side. So this part is the same for the front and the back legs. There's no difference, but for the front legs we're only gonna make row 4 to 6 single crochets, and for the back legs we're gonna make row 4 and 5 single crochets. So 1 row single crochets more for the front legs. One single crochet into every stitch. This was 1 row, and I'm gonna make another row. So if you want to make a front leg, we need 1 more row of only single crochets. If you want to make a back leg, it's fine. Of course, we need 4 legs, 2 front and 2 back legs. So this is gonna be a back leg, and now I'm gonna make 1 single crochet and 1 decrease for 3 times. So 1 single crochet, 1 decrease, and again 1 single crochet, 1 decrease, and again one last time 1 single crochet and 1 decrease. So 1 stitch is left. I'm only gonna make a slip stitch and pull the yarn through. You can also make 1 loop, 1 chain, and cut the yarn off a little more for sewing it. And now we need 4 legs at all. And don't forget to stiff the leg. The legs are ready, and these are the 2 back legs and these are the front legs. They are a little bit bigger. This is only 1 row of single crochet. It's more than the back legs. The rest is all the same of the pattern, and now we're gonna sew them. So just repeat this with your remaining 3 legs, like this. So the legs are ready, and now we're going to add the spots on the back of the triceratops. So we need some yarn from the second color, and I'll cut a piece of yarn and just sew it on the body. You can start anywhere on the back. I'll come from the bottom. And just make some spots like this. They don't need to be symmetrical or anything like this. But I think it's very nice if you changed the direction of the spot, some in this or in that direction. That's very cute. And if you're ready, I just get through my whole dino with the yarn and cut it off. Your triceratops is ready. If you liked the video, it would be amazing if you like and subscribe it. And I hope we see you in the next tutorial.